Good morning, students. So this is my sixth lecture on electrostatic. In my last lectures we have discussed about the charges and we discussed about the force existing between them, that is called electrostatic force. But in this chart we are going to discuss a complete new topic, and today's topic is very much important for us to understand how the charges attract or repel each other. What is the main cause of attraction or repulsion between two charges? So before beginning, let me discuss one more thing. If we talk about forces, we know generally we can divide these forces as contact force and non-contact force. The word itself implies contact force means those forces which require contact between body. An example of this contact force we can use that friction force. Friction force is only exist when there is a contact between two moving bodies. But whereas if we talk about non-contact force, we can study the example of gravitational. We can take the example of electrostatic force, that is electric force also. I think you must remember gravitational force is the force between two masses. Suppose this is mass m1 and this is your mass m2. This both the bodies will attract each other. There is no physical contact between them, but still they will attract each other. This force is called as gravitational force. In our previous lecture we studied about the charges. If this is q1 and another charge is q2, so they will also attract or repel if separated by distance r. So the force existing between them, it is also non-contact force, which we had given that F equals to k q1 q2 by r square. So it is also example of non-contact force. No contact is there. So in this chapter we have basically discussed about electric force. Now we say something about related to field. What is a field? Basically field means area or the region present around a charge. Field is the area or region. We can divide this field in two parts: scalar field and vector field. As we know, scalar quantity and vector quantity in that manner only. Let me write the example of a scalar field. Just like temperature field, you can take pressure field. You can take the example of humidity. You can take the example of potential. All these quantities, temperature, pressure, humidity, potential, all these are scalar. So the field generated by them will be termed as scalar field. And if I talk about velocity, gravitational field, electric field, magnetic field, all these are vectors quantity, so the field are also vector. In this chapter we are just going to discuss electric field. What is electric field? What will be its mathematical expression? What is the nature of this electric field? All these things we are going to discuss in this video. So we have to discuss electric field. Let me tell you one more thing. In our course physics class 12th, we have to basically discuss three types of field: electric field, magnetic field and electromagnetic waves. The main thing which is responsible for the field is charge. You just learn this thing. We discussed three different states of charge. If the charges are in their rest condition, then the field they are going to generate will be electric field. Charges in rest going to generate electric field. If the charges are in uniform motion, they will generate electric field as well as magnetic field. and if the charges are in accelerated motion, they will generate electromagnetic waves, EM waves it is also called as. So we have to study all this field in our course, but right now we are only concerned with electric field only. So what does this electric field basically means? So let's see with an example. We consider a charge Q1, another charge Q2. According to Coulomb's law, we know that there will be force between these two charges. This one is going to repel this and this one is going to repel this. But in order to repel, it will not come towards this charge and will repel. Without any physical contact, they will repel each other. They will interact with each other. Now, what is the quantity which helps them interacting? Between these two charges, there is one quantity we generate here, that is electric field. This electric field is responsible for the interaction between these two charges. This charge Q1 will generate some kind of field around it, and this field will interact with this charge Q2, and this field is going to repel this charge. So this is the main concept of electric field. Electric field is a space or region around a charge where another charge is either attracted or repelled, or you can say that this another charge will experience some force. I am repeating the statement. Electric field is the region around a charge where another charge experiences a force. That field is termed as electric field only. So this was the concept of electric field, but how we can express the field mathematically? So you have to just go through electric field intensity. Sometimes it is also written as electric field, or sometimes it is written as electric field intensity. The meaning of this means this word is the strength of electric field. How strong is our electric field? We have to calculate this. Now, in this definition, you will came to know about two terms. One is the source charge, and another one is your test charge. Source charge and test charge Q naught. Source charge is the main charge. This charge is going to generate an electric field around this. We have to study about this electric field. This electric field is generated by this source charge. Now, how strong is that field? In order to determine that, we brought another charge that is termed as test charge. Test charge is simply an experimental charge. It is very small in magnitude, and basically this is positive. Test charge are very small positive charge. So when I brought this test charge near this field, it will experience as a force. Now see, how can we define this term electric field intensity? So go through this statement. Electric field intensity, that is the strength of electric field at any point in an electric field, is the force experienced by the unit positive test charge kept at that point. If this is the charge capital Q, which I termed as the source charge, it will generate an electric field. This is another charge that is termed as test charge. If I bring this charge in this field at any point P, suppose I kept this charge here, then because of this field, this charge is going to experience a force. It will either repel or it will either attract, depending on the polarity. So the force experienced by this charge is determine this electric field. So mathematically we can write electric field is equals to force per unit test charge. Electric field is represented as force per unit test charge. From this you can easily see the direction. The direction of this E is along the direction of vector F. This F is the force experienced by positive charge. Direction of electric field is along the direction of the force experienced by positive charge. This is the positive charge, and the force experienced by this charge F, it will be the direction of the electric field E. So we can also counter the units and all. So what will be the SI unit of this electric field? From this above formula we can see E equals to F upon Q, Newton, and charge Coulomb. So Newton per Coulomb is the unit of electric field, and one more unit is there. There is one more unit, that is volt per meter. This unit we are going to discuss in upcoming chapters, but right now we are just learn that electric field is Newton per Coulomb. The dimension for this, Newton, that is force ml t minus 2, and the dimension for the charge is at. So we will get the dimension of electric field is ml t minus 3 a power minus 1. So this will be the dimension of electric field. Now see, as we know, we have studied E equals to F by Q naught. In many books this expression is not so valid. Why? See, this is the charge Q, and this one is another small charge Q naught. We are saying that this capital Q is going to repel this small Q naught because of electric field, but this small charge will also disturb the charge capital Q. So in general we used to take this value of Q naught very small than Q, which means test charge should be very less than your source charge, otherwise this will disturb the source charge. So the real expression is given as electric field limit Q naught approaches to 0 F by Q naught. So in many books you will find such kind of expression. There is no much difference in this expression. It is only clear that the value of this Q naught should be very small as compared to the source charge. So just keep it in mind. Now one more important thing which we are going to discuss is the direction of electric field. Now see, let's consider two plates. This one first plate is connected with the positive terminal, it will get positively charged. Second plate is connected to negative terminal of the battery, it will get negatively charged. Now what happened? We are not able to see this electric field with our eyes. The concept of electric field was given by Michael Faraday. He himself was not able to see the field, but he gave his concept on the basis of the direction of the motion of unit charge. Now consider, if I place a positive charge here, I just placed a unit positive charge between these two plates, and I found that this charge starts moving in this direction. We all know it is positive charge and this is negative plate. This small charge is going to attract by this negative charge, so it will start moving in this direction. Now we assume that there will be a field. There is a virtual field present between these two plates. The direction of this field is from positive to negative. Because of this electric field, as we know, electric field is E equals to F by Q naught. From this expression we can also find F is equals to Q naught times of E. Now this is one of the most important expression. F is the force, Q is the charge, and E is the electric field. What does it says? It represents force experienced by a charge. Force experienced by a charge in an electric field. Which means whenever we place any charge in the field, whenever we place any charge in the electric field, it will experience a force F equals to Q naught times of E. Now try to understand. This was the plate, and these lines are the electric field lines. Because of this electric field line, this positive charge will experience a force. And what will be the force? F equals to QE. So we can say positive charge moves in the direction of field. Now suppose I take a negative charge. This negative charge will move towards the positive terminal. So this will be the direction of force F equals to QE. Both the charge experiences the same force, but direction is different. So just learn it. If this is the direction of electric field, then positive charge always moves in the direction of electric field. Positive charge always moves in the direction of electric field, and negative charge always moves opposite to the direction of electric field. Just learn these two directions. Positive charge moves in the direction of field, negative charge moves opposite. And what is the force? The force will be F equals to Q naught times of E. This will be the force experienced. One more important thing which you have to keep in mind, electric field, that is a vector F by Q naught. Electric field is a vector quantity. Okay, now from this expression we find that your F is equals to Q naught times of E. Force is equals to Q naught times of E. And according to Newton's second law, if we remember, Newton's law states that your F is equals to mass into acceleration. Equation first, and this is equation second. On equating both the equations, what you're going to find that ma is equals to Q naught times of E. So the acceleration is equals to Q naught times of E upon m. Now it is again an important formula used in many of the numericals. A is the acceleration, m is the mass, Q naught is the charge, and E is the electric field. Now try to understand. Suppose this is the plate. This plate is positive charge and this plate is negative charge. And this is a small charge, consider it as a proton. Now when I place this proton between the plates, initially it is at rest, but because of this positive and negative, we know an electric field will generate, and because of this electric field, this charge will experience as a force F equals to QE, and because of this force it will start accelerating. What will be the force? Force will be QE, and because of this force there will be acceleration in the particle. And if we have to find this acceleration, then your A is equals to Q naught times of E by m. Q naught is the charge given, E is the electric field, and m is the mass of that charged particle. So this formula is very much important for us. With the help of this formula, we can also find one more thing. According to equations of motion, if we remember the second equation, S equals to ut plus half at square. S is the displacement, u is the initial velocity, t is the time, half time of a into t. A is the acceleration. Now here we have seen that initially it was at rest. So considering initial velocity to be 0, your S will be half of a t square. So displacement is half of at square. Half is a constant. If time remains constant, then an important thing you can derive here, displacement of a particle is proportional to acceleration. Displacement is proportional to acceleration. Just keep in mind these two formula. In order to find the acceleration, q naught times of E by m, and higher the acceleration, higher will be the displacement of the particle. In many times questions has been asked which particle will suffer more displacement. So in order to find the displacement, you need to find acceleration. Higher the value of acceleration, more will be the displacement of the particle. So let's move to our next topic, electric field due to point charge. Till now, we are able to establish a relation between electric field and electric force F by Q naught. Electric field is force per unit test charge. But see, this is the charge Q. This is our source charge. And I have to find the value of this electric field. This electric field will be different at different point. The strength of this field will be different at different point. And suppose I want to find, this is the point O and this is the point P. Distance between them is R. I am interested to find the strength of electric field at this point P. What will be the strength of electric field at the point P? Due to which? Due to this charge capital Q. This is our source charge, and I am interested to find electric field at the point P because of this charge Q, capital Q. In order to find the electric field, I have to consider a test charge. First of all, I put this test charge at this point P. On placing this charge here, according to Coulomb's law, what will be the force between these two charges? That is F equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught first charge, second charge upon the square of distance. This will be the force acting between both of them. And according to the definition of electric field, according to electric field intensity, what is the definition of electric field intensity? Electric field E is defined as force experienced upon per unit charge. So on substituting the values, divided by Q naught. Q naught to Q naught cancel out and you will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught times of Q by R square. So the expression for electric field due to point charge, this is the charge Q. So the electric field is simply 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught times of Q upon R square. This is the expression for electric field. Now if the charge is in air or vacuum, if the charge is in air or vacuum, then you can simply write as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. No problem is there. But if the charge is in any medium, then electric field will become, this was in air and this was in medium. Now see here, important thing. Here we have changed the medium. So on changing the medium, this epsilon naught will also change. This epsilon naught is the permittivity of air or vacuum. But in this case we are using medium. So I have to use here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. Naught is not there. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon Q by R square. So just try to remember, if air or vacuum is there, then simply 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. If they are using another medium, then 1 upon 4 pi epsilon times of Q by R square. So suppose this is a positive charge Q and I have to find electric field at a distance of R, and this is the point P. So at this P, your electric field will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught times of Q by R square. But in order to write in a vector form, I will use here a unit vector r cap just to express in the vector form. Now see, this is positive charge, so the direction of electric field will be outward. Positive charge emits the electric field line. From the positive charge, electric field line moves outward, so this is r cap, which means radially outward. But if this charge is negative q, and again we have to find the electric field at point P. So this time it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square and r cap, but since this is the charge is negative, so the direction of electric field will be radially inward. If the charge is positive, electric field is outward. If the charge is negative, electric field is inward. So this time electric field is radially inward. So these are the expression of electric field. An important conclusion you can find here: electric field is inversely related to r square. Means as we move away from the charge, the strength of electric field will also decrease. So if this is your electric field and this is your distance r, the electric field decreases as the value of r increases. So this is the representation of electric field. So on concluding my chapter, topic of electric field, so you will just download all the PDFs which are available in the description box, and please study regularly. Only then you will understand the concept. If you make a gap, then it will not possible for you. Thank you.